orthodoxy. Welcome to the Money System, where we explain how money really works.
Have you ever wondered why your grandparents still hoard food, even with a full pantry? Or why some older folks have a deep-seated fear of empty shelves? In the 1920s, after the chaos of revolution and civil war, Lenin introduced the new economic policy, or NEP. It was a surprising move, allowing a bit of private business and farming for profit. For a moment, it seemed like a practical blend of socialism and capitalism. The economy began to recover, but this brief taste of market freedom wouldn't last. When Stalin came to power, everything changed. He saw the NEP as a betrayal of communist ideals. His vision was one of rapid, brutal industrialization, controlled entirely by the state. This kicked off the era of the 5-year plans. The goal The focus was entirely on heavy industry, steel, coal, and machinery. Think massive factories, sprawling dams, and city-sized industrial complexes, all built from scratch. To fuel this industrial machine, Stalin needed control over agriculture. This led to one of the most tragic chapters in Soviet history, collectivization. The state dictated what to grow, how much to grow, and took almost all of it. The most prosperous farmers, labeled kulaks, were targeted, their property seized, and millions were exiled or executed. Food production plummeted, but the state continued to export grain to fund its industrial projects. The promise of feeding the people was sacrificed for the glory of the state. The Soviet Union built tanks, planes, and weapons on an unprecedented scale. This industrial might was crucial in defeating Nazi Germany in World War II. From the outside, and according to Soviet propaganda, the system was a roaring success. But beneath the surface, the cracks were already showing. The system was called a command economy, or a centrally planned economy. It decided what every factory in the country would produce, how much it would produce, and where it would be sent. Imagine trying to plan every single product, from shoelaces to turbine engines, for a country of over 200 million people. It was an impossible task. This led to some bizarre and inefficient outcomes. Factory managers were judged on meeting production quotas, usually measured in weight or quantity. Innovation was stifled. Why risk trying a new, better method when you could be punished for failing to meet your quota? The focus was on quantity, never quality. More importantly, consumer goods there, things that make life comfortable and enjoyable, were an afterthought. The 5-year plans prioritized steel mills over shoe factories and tanks over toasters. People spent hours waiting in long lines or queues for basic necessities like bread, sausage, or toilet paper. A popular Soviet-era joke went like this. A man is in a line. He asks the person in front, "What are we waiting for?" That was the reality. When a shipment of shoes arrived, you bought them regardless of the size or style, because you didn't know when you'd see shoes again. If you wanted a good pair of jeans, a foreign record, or even quality meat, you had to find someone who could get it for you illegally, often at a steep price. The system also had no real price signals. In a market economy, prices tell producers what consumers want. This led to massive misallocations of resources. Things that were desperately needed were underproduced, while useless items gathered dust in warehouses. After Stalin's death, leaders like Khrushchev tried to reform the system. By the 1970s and 80s, under Brezhnev, the economy entered a period known as the era of stagnation. The system was creaking under its own weight. When global oil prices were high, the system could limp along, using the money to import grain and technology. But when oil prices crashed in the mid-1980s, the economic crisis became acute. He introduced two key policies: glasnost, meaning openness, which allowed for more public discussion and criticism, and perestroika, meaning restructuring, which was his attempt to reform the economy. But it was too little, too late. The reforms created chaos. Production collapsed. Shortages became worse than ever. Glasnost allowed people to openly voice their frustrations, which had been simmering for decades. So the next time you see a grandparent saving every last breadcrumb, you'll understand it's a memory of a time when a loaf of bread wasn't a guarantee, but a victory in a daily struggle for survival. It's a powerful reminder that the way we organize our economy isn't just an abstract theory. It shapes our lives, our fears, and our futures in the most profound ways. What do you think was the biggest flaw in the Soviet economic model? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this deep dive interesting, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more explorations into the forces that shape our world. Thanks for watching.
So, we're not smart. If this helped you understand the system, subscribe, like, and share this video.